Hello everyone. I am so glad you have joined me today. I love sharing my ideas with you and I hope I inspire you with today's creation. This week I'm going to focus on using your strips or scraps of paper because we all have these little tiny strips and I don't know about you, but I can't throw them away. So I have some ideas for you. Here's the card we will be making today. For this card, I use this cute set, Freezing Fun, and I specifically use the sentiment and the skiing bunny. Now, who doesn't love a skinny bunny? All right, so let's get started. First thing I needed to do was I took my piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4, and before I forget, all measurements are on the blog and the link is below in the description section. And it also has all the products I'm using. I also have the winter snow embossing folder, and I embossed the front of that to give it some interest. And we're working on a landscape card versus a portrait card. After I have my piece of paper embossed, I need 3 pieces of the Snowflake Wishes DSP. And this paper is 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. I think that's what this is. Nope, it's 5 inches. 1/2 by 5. I cut it a little smaller. I should have looked at my picture. And then I'm using 2 pieces that are alike and the one is different. But if you look at them, the pieces are all double-sided. Our paper is double-sided, and sometimes it's hard to decide which side to use. I've had that many times. So here's a way to use them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn 2 of them over to the back, and this would be the back of the other one. And I'm going to use some tear and tape on the back of this. Now, the reason I'm using tear and tape is this piece is embossed. When you emboss, you have mountains and you have flats. And what happens is if it's not enough surface area, your mountains take all the tape and the surface area doesn't give any, so it very easily will release. So by using a piece of tear and tape, that tape can go down into the flats and stick down well. So chances of it releasing are slim. All right, I need my paper. It's basically going to lay out like this. So I've got it laid the way I want to put it on here. That way I don't mess up. Now you're going to need to remove the backs of this tear and tape, but what you have to do is you have to burnish the ends. And that means you push down on them really hard so that the tape on the back side sticks. Then you're going to need to release the back release paper. All right, and I will tell you, pokey tool is the best way to do this. The pokey tool is your friend. So once you get the first piece off, then you're going to take and you're going to add it to your card. And this stuff is sticky. So, and I left about 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. Then we want to add our second piece. Lots of times when you cut paper down, you get little tiny strips left over. And this is a good way to use them. All right, so I'm going to add the second piece. All right, and I left maybe 1/8 of an inch, a little bit more. It's probably like 3/16. But I don't know about you, but that can be confusing. So just kind of eyeball it. That's what I do. And then I'm going to add my last piece. And the beauty of this is it doesn't matter which way your pieces go because they blend. All right. This paper now goes on a Pacific Point card base, and this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to use this card in the landscape mode. Now, just so you know, landscape goes side to side. Portrait goes up and down, just for you new stampers. So in the landscape mode, I'm going to add this to there. Again, this one has flats and valleys. So I'm going to add my tear-in tape all around the side to make sure I get a good surface to adhere to my card. You don't want to send a card to somebody and have it fall apart when they take it out of the envelope. So use good quality tape. And this is double-sided tape. And it's really sticky. So you want to make sure whatever tape you use is sticky so that it sticks down well. All right, we're going to remove the backs from the paper. So you've got to make the tape. So you got to make sure it's burnished real good, especially here because there's not as much to grab hold of and it will release. So you just kind of want to not necessarily start on the end, but in a little bit and stick your pokey tool underneath and just lift it up. So, and you work your way all the way around with all the pieces. All right, like so, until you have them all removed. All right, now you want to make sure this goes on straight. So what I do is you also want to make sure you put it on the right way, because if you put it on like this, it opens wrong. So you have to readjust your card, but you can. But what I do is I open my card up and I lay it perfectly flat. That way I know this is the front. So I started with it the right way and then I opened it up. And now I'm going to attach this. And what you want to do is you want to get it centered top to bottom, side to side. Then you want to push down on all sides so that it sticks really well. That's a good way to watch and make sure you've got it straight. So our card base is ready to go. Then using that cute bunny from the stamp set, I colored him in with my markers, and there are dies to cut it out, so you don't even need to cut him out. And I'm going to take and I'm going to pop him up. So I'm going to use some foam dots on the back. These are Stampin' Up's dimensionals. They call them Stampin' Dimensionals. And to me, they're the best. I've never had an issue with these sticking, and I like them because they have just the right amount of depth, thickness. Some of them I've used before, they're too high. So this is just a subtle. And I cut mine in half because I've always done that and I like it, so I continue to do it, and it just kind of extends my supplies and gives me more money for other things. I'm all about saving money. All right, we're going to add this little bunny here on the front, like he's skiing down the hill and there's snow behind him. Now it needs a sentiment. So I took the sentiment and I stamped it in Pacific Point. Then I took and cut a piece of Pacific Point a little bit bigger on all sides for my layer. And I'm going to add some glue to the back of this, and I'm going to stick this down like so. And then because I want to place some emphasis on this, I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape also. And if you put one at each end and one in the middle in the opposite direction, that just gives it a little bit of extra support. So when it goes through the machine at the post office, it may collapse, but it'll come back. All right? And now that I've got all of those done, I'm going to add this to the top, and I am kind of watching my spacing here and here to make it even as possible. That one has a little bit more spacing, but that's okay. And then I know you want to really take your card to the next level, so make sure you stamp and color your image on the inside and on your envelope. Now you know that this is an adorable set, and I will tell you the embossing folder, the designer series paper, and the stamp set are all going to be going away soon, so you don't want to miss out on it. So if you go over using the link below to my blog, Creations in Paper, and use this hostess code, you can purchase all of the supplies using the link to my blog below. Don't miss out on this. If you like my project and want to get more ideas, make sure when you're on my blog you sign up for my newsletter. It's on the side, the right-hand side. I send out newsletters once a week so you can get lots of ideas. Thanks for visiting me today. Have a great day.